Today, we're doing a quick view on the Knevo from Ottobock. So Kenevo came onto the market in about 2015. Back then, the K2 law obviously wasn't in effect, and so Ottobock really did a lot of lobbying and worked with legislation to get the K2 law passed so that K2s can get approved for microprocessor needs, which is, who microprocessors really will benefit the most. Of course, I love wearing a microprocessor. I don't want to wear a mechanical knee, but who would benefit from it the most is a K2 user. And so having this knee available to the K2 users and having it approved with the code is amazing, and it's awesome that Ottobock did all that they did to kind of push to get that where it is today. Kenevo is about 2 pounds, just a little over 2 pounds, and it is IP22 rated, water rated. So that means splash proof. You're not going to want to be taking it in water or anything, but if it gets rained on, it'll be okay. Kenevo comes with different modes, and these modes are designed with specific activities and users in mind. A mode being a very safe transfer leg, and C mode basically being a pared down C leg. And so it allows you to work K2 users up and out of K2 activity levels if that is where you think they're going, or back down if it's been an amputee that's been a user for a long time and they maybe have worn super functional knees, but they need a little bit more safety and a little bit more comfort and control. This might be a good way to work them down into somewhere that is safer, but still a really nice knee and comfortable. Let's start breaking down these modes and get into their uses and who would benefit from them. So in A mode is a transfer knee, so it stays locked as you can see here, and it's just there for me to transfer from my bed to the wheelchair, etc. B mode is a break knee, so it lands fully extended in B mode. You can see I have no flexion there, but it's a break knee, so when it's weighted, it is locked out completely, and when it's unweighted, it is a free swinging knee. It also is releasing into stance a little bit later in B and B plus mode. In B plus mode here, it's the same break knee, but you get 10 degrees of stance knee flexion, and that stance knee flexion is locked at 10 degrees, so you know you're safe and you really can get comfortable trusting that will support you. And then in C mode, we have our full yielding mode, which is basically, you see I can get a lot of stance knee flexion here and use it walking downstairs, down ramps. This is basically a C leg with just a little bit less. Also in C mode, you have the flexion lock. So you can see here, I weighted it for 3 seconds. It's locked out, and then I can release and go back out to my day. And in C mode, you also have just basic sitting and standing. So you ride the hydraulic down as you sit, and then standing up is basic. In A, B, and B plus modes, we have a supported sitting to standing. So here it resists you a little bit more. As I go back up, you can see the knee locks once you get to a certain angle. So you get to those ratchet positions, and the knee will lock to allow time for you to sit up and readjust, maybe grab your walker, things like that. There it is locked. There it is locked again, and allowing me to extend a full extension, and then to get back down into my supported sitting, I just need to make sure that I get my weight on the heel and at the right angle. And then again, supported standing, locked up, push up, and go. All modes have these sitting features. So first off here, we're gonna get in, I'm in A mode, so you can see A mode, even you can sit down, I get to that full extension and then ride the hydraulic down. And so even in A mode where the knee's fully locked, you can sit, but then you have this free swing so that you can pull the foot out of the way if you need to. You also have a wheelchair mode here where you can lift the foot up out of the way and then move it to release it, and that'll get the foot out of hitting doors and things like that. And then you also have the donning mode, which in my socket, the donning mode is a little bit more difficult, but it still gives you an idea of how it would go. But if you had a pin or suction, traditional suction, or a lanyard system, it would be a lot easier to just pull this right on. But still, you can see I can get my socket 95% of the way on, and then I use the supported standing here. And once I get back up to fully extended, then I can go and make that final adjustment, make sure that my leg is on completely, which is very nice for the K2 demographic to get their leg on while sitting and then stand up safely. All modes also have an intuitive cycling. And intuitive cycling in Knevo is really designed to be there as a rehab function. So you can go to PT and get some function out of the knee and not have the knee resist you when you are cycling. Make sure that you get the foot in the pedal. That's always an issue, is having a foot strap. But once you do 2 rotations, the knee recognizes what you're doing, and then it releases completely and allows you to really push. I get going fast here, I think. Yeah, a little too fast. But you see that there's no resistance on the knee so that I can continue pedaling and not really fight that. And then when I go into extension again, the knee recognizes that I'm waiting it and goes back into my walking mode. And then here we'll just slow it down a little bit. You can kind of see it on the first rotation, where the knee is resisting me, and then it recognizes that we're cycling. So here it's resisting me, and then now it's recognized that we're in a cycling mode, and it's going more free and not giving me any resistance, allowing me to pedal and do what I need to do. That's a quick breakdown of Kenevo's modes. Again, in A mode, you are in a full transfer knee. So that means that, again, the knee is locked the whole time. It will never release into swing. So you know that you can go from your wheelchair to the bed and transfer easy. But it does have those sitting functions. So you could still use the supported sitting standing and the wheelchair mode and all of those different things, as well as intuitive cycling. And then in B mode, you have a break knee. And so again, that means that when the knee is weighted, it is locked. When it is unweighted, it is into swing. B mode also releases into swing a little bit later than in C mode, for instance. That way, the knee is safer and locked just a little bit longer once you're at that terminal stance, that toe off point. And so that just keeps a little bit more safety and peace of mind there to know that the knee isn't gonna buckle on you. And then in B plus, it functions 99.9% the same as B, but you get that 10 degrees of stance knee flexion. And that 10 degrees really is nice if you're somebody that doesn't walk with stance knee flexion, it's intimidating and scary to you. B plus is where you want to be so that you can get comfortable using it, because it is locked at that 10 degrees. So you know it's not going to drop you, and it's really comfortable. And then in C mode, again, is basically a C leg to some degree. And so you can use it going downstairs, ramps, and get that yielding function and get a ton of benefit out of it. I really love Knevo. I think that it is an awesome knee for who it is designed for. And like I said at the beginning of the video, working someone up out of K2 or back down into K2, it is perfect for that. And really, I think it's like a great knee for any new amputee that is transfemoral. This thing will teach you how to use microprocessors, whether they're a K2 microprocessor or a K4 microprocessor. It'll give you a good understanding of the basics so that you can work up to those things, and really helps you understand how the knee is going to function. If you're interested in checking out more on Knevo, here is the website. If you have any questions for me, here is my email. And other than that, we'll see you next time.